The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and contributors, and are not those of WKYU-TV, its management, or WKU.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another edition of TopperTalk. Here at you, bringing you the latest and greatest in Hilltopper sports for the next 30 minutes. As you can see, I have a special guest tonight. Shane and Woody are out. So in place of them, we have the great Terry Obie.
Oh man, I appreciate that. Thanks for calling. I apprite that.
No problem.
I'll pay you later for that.
Okay,
one.
yeah.
Okay,
we got it in the contract. Right?
Okay.
We'd like to thank you for joining us on the show, and like I said, we're going to talk Hilltopper sports for the next 30 minutes. But Terry, tell us about yourself.
No, thanks for having me. You know what? A little bit about me. I played in the NFL for 8 years. Mm-hmm. I started off with the Seattle Seahawks, and I played at the Minnesota Vikings. Then, I really played at Chicago Bears for 5 years.
Okay.
But before that, I went to the University of Oregon.
All
I'm
right.
a West Coast boy.
West Coast.
You know Oregon. You know how that is with the Nike, the Phil Knight University.
Yeah, that was before the 26 combo uniforms.
Exactly.
Right?
You know what? When I played, it was just Donald Duck. They had Donald Duck on there, and that was it.
I love Donald Duck.
But we had we could show the abs though.
You
We
show
had the
the
short.
abs,
Yeah, we had the short
You can only
jersey.
do that in practice now.
Yeah,
so.
only in practice. Yeah, I do it every once in a while at home. That's it. But I have one ab.
One ab?
Yeah,
just one flat ab?
That's one flat ab.
You didn't have the 8-pack?
No,
you don't rock
I don't
the
have that
8-pack?
anymore.
Okay, all right. Well, it's good to have you on the show, and like I said, we'll, of course, you used to be on the staff here at Western as well. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now.
You know what? It was I love it being here in Bowling Green. It was a great experience being on the coaching staff here at WKU. But before that, I was at Stanford.
Yeah.
That's what me and Coach Taggart coached with Coach Harbaugh.
Yeah, okay.
At Stanford. And then I came here. My wife was a little concerned because I've never been to Kentucky. She's like, you're leaving Napa, California to go to Bowling Green, Kentucky? She said, I've never been there. But when we came here, this has been a wonderful place for me and my family, and had a great experience coaching and for 4 years, and it's awesome. It's been great here. The people are wonderful.
All right, great. Sounds good. And like I said, you're going to join us on the show and be talking Hilltopper sports for the next 30 minutes. Of course, Shane and Woody are out. They have Woody has got another soccer game. He's got a coach for Russellville High School tonight, and the city of Paducah, they need Shane back for another week. So wish you well on that, Shane, and we'll get started here. We'll I guess
Shane is in Paducah?
Shane is in Paducah for the week.
You know that's the place of quilts. He's probably making a quilt.
No, he's got other duties to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
His day job has shipped him there like 3 straight weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, they like him there in Paducah. So.
All right. So give him a hard time when
he keeps going back, so and he can't do the show. So, but anyway, we'll start off with a couple of announcements. We talked a lot of football last week, and we'll talk football this week on this show. But I'd like to kind of give a little love to the volleyball team, just to kind of start off with knocking down doors, breaking down barriers. Another first for them. Preseason ranked number 21 in the polls.
Man, that is awesome.
Yeah,
they're doing real well. They're working pretty hard. I see them in the gym over there with coaches, and they're working really hard.
Yeah, Travis Hudson definitely building a top-notch program here at WKU, and like I said, they're not unfamiliar with the rankings. They were ranked, I think, for 11 consecutive weeks last year, and obviously made their first NCAA appearance and got their first NCAA victory in the tournament over Loyola Marymount. But definitely another first in program history, being preseason ranked number 21. So they're starting off on the good foot, and obviously they're going to be expected to be tops in the Sun Belt again. And obviously, hopefully, go back to the NCAA tournament again.
Man, I'm excited to go because last year, when my family, we went to a lot of the volleyball games.
Yeah.
A lot of the volleyball games, and here at WKU, and we're excited to go to those games. My daughter loves it, and my children, even my son, my small son, he's like 5 years old. He's like, I want to go to another volleyball game. Forget about the football tickets, or the other games. But he was excited to go to those volleyball games.
Yeah, volleyball is definitely it's definitely fun to watch, and you guys definitely need to get out here when volleyball season starts and support the volleyball team. They're doing really big things. Travis Hudson, like I said, has done a tremendous job since he's been here. And actually, I mentioned it for a reason. Travis Hudson, just a little plug for you guys on next week's show. Head volleyball coach Travis Hudson will join us for the entire show, and we'll be talking a lot of WKU volleyball, and we'll see if he'll be buying anybody else some free tickets for any other WKU events. I know he's been prone to do that in the past. So.
Man, that was great that he did that last year. He's good for doing that, though. You expect that, but he's a great coach, man. He's got those girls out playing hard. Mm-hmm. Those athletes are playing extremely well. They not only do well on the court, but they're doing really well in the classroom, too.
Definitely. So we want to give a shout-out to the volleyball team for that that feat. And we also want to mention as well, just off the top of that, soccer starts on Friday. I didn't know if you guys know about this, but if you're busy or not busy and not doing anything, don't have anything planned on Friday at 12 o'clock, the soccer team takes on Utah. It'll be actually the first official game on campus for the fall. So, soccer kicks off against Utah. So if you're not doing anything on Friday at 12 o'clock, come out and support the soccer team. They had a couple of exhibition games over the weekend. They got a 1-0 victory over Tennessee Martin on Friday. And they went to Morehead State. Get Murray and Morehead mixed up sometimes. Okay. They went to Morehead State yesterday and I think they got a 1-1 tie in that exhibition game. But the soccer season officially kicks off on Friday, so if you're not busy doing anything, go check them out at the soccer complex. They'll be playing Utah.
Yeah, we got to go out and support them. That'd be great to go out there and see that. I mean, soccer is one of those sports that is definitely take a lot of endurance. I mean, my kids play soccer. They're running around, and I even tried to coach it. It is, you get out there and run with those kids, it's running around, but I'm telling you, I appreciate our program, too. I think all our athletics are starting to do pretty well, extremely well.
And I know, like I said, I know the soccer team's been working hard. Sometimes I'll go run the steps at the stadium, at the football stadium in the evenings, and I know they're out there practicing hard. And like I said, it takes a lot of endurance to be out there running around, for about 90 minutes.
Exactly. I mean, it takes a
plus,
lot. And nonstop. I mean, that's a sport you can't. I mean, if you don't have the endurance, you'll pass out. So it's important that you continue to train and do well. But those girls do really well, and they compete. Those athletes, man, I'm really proud of what they're doing, that they continue to do. And Coach Tenius is pretty good friends of mine on the team. So I just make sure he's doing a good job though. And next year when he's on the golf course, I want to play him again.
Okay. You dishing out an open challenge?
Yeah, open challenge. I just want to throw that out there.
All right. Well, we'll tweet that out to make sure he heard that.
I hope so.
All right. And so you definitely want to catch that soccer on Friday at noon, so go check that out. And another thing we want to mention, we didn't get to it last week on last week's show, but we talked a lot of football on that last week's show. But, of course, WKU basketball will actually tip off their season at midnight against Wichita State. And they begin the season at kind of an odd time at midnight.
Midnight? What do we call it? Midnight Madness?
Well, it's actually part of the ESPN Tip-Off Classic. It's a marathon they have.
Okay.
It goes for 24 hours, and they'll actually be playing. Everybody thought that the game would actually be tipping off about 4 o'clock or something like that, but unfortunately, it's at midnight Central Time. So,
wow.
But of course, Wichita State last year went to the Final Four and gave Louisville a pretty good run before Louisville went on and won the championship. So definitely a big test for them on the road. That's never an easy place to play at Wichita State, but obviously a big test for them. But obviously a lot of excitement around the program as well, because Harper is kind of got some new athletes in here from the JUCO ranks and recruiting wise and everything like that. So a lot of people were really wanting to see the Hilltoppers play some ball and see the athletics that Harper
that'd be
collected.
interesting to see that. What the fans got to bring, sleeping bags and stay overnight. I mean, you'll fall asleep at midnight.
Well, you got to go to Wichita, then you got to wait till midnight for the tip off. So I mean, that's going to be a tough task for any Hilltopper fan that actually wants to travel out to the game.
Exactly, midnight
like that.
Is there any planes, any transportation out there?
I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna be one of those things where you might have to sleep over, at campus in a line, like they do at Duke, at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Okay.
They students pitch tents out there and wait to get in the game the next day, so it's kind of crazy. But
man, that's serious. That's really serious. That's a serious fan there.
Yeah, exactly. So WKU basketball, they have a tough, like I said, they have a tough opponent, Wichita State. Got a majority of their players coming back for this season. And of course, like I said, they're off a Final Four run from last year. So a tough test and a tough time slide as well. So you got two factors going against. But Wichita State has to kind of play with the factor too, even though they do have a home court advantage or whatever. But definitely a tough task for Western. But I think a lot of Western fans here will probably stay up and watch that one.
Man, that'd be great. I think I'll stay up and watch that one because every time that the challenge comes, those guys get up there and play, and they do extremely well. They never disappoint us. I mean, it's exciting to watch Hilltopper basketball. Yeah,
and it's good. Like I said, Bray Harper, we've kind of mentioned it on the show before, talking about the talent that he's got and went out and recruited for this year. Got a couple of players from the JUCO ranks and everything like that. I think a lot of people are very excited to watch this team play, and definitely will be excited to watch them play against Wichita State and see how they do and progress throughout the season. Everybody's expecting to definitely, hopefully, cross our fingers that the injury bug doesn't bite us like it did last year, but definitely hoping for about a 24-win season or hopefully more this year.
Wow,
for the
he
Hilltoppers,
can't do
so.
nothing but go up from last year, especially with all those injuries and how he's able to rebound and coaching and playing chess. He did a great job with putting those guys and getting them fired up and just fill in.
Yeah.
He had a couple of ball players, too, that came up. Football players that came up and helped support. I think Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus Vasquez and K1 Jakes were
K1
Jakes stayed on the team for a little bit, and I think he ended up trying to focus on to get on his pro career for football. But Marcus Vasquez, he stayed on the team throughout the entire season, and really, I mean, you can honestly say, with all the injuries that Western had, even though he didn't get a lot of playing time in the game, I'm sure he was very instrumental in scouting and practices and things like that, just to have an extra body out there to practice with.
He played great defense.
Yeah, he did.
Quickness and
he was kind of a trash talker too.
Exactly, that energy. But in football players, you never know. They get excited and they're on the basketball court. And I mean, usually they have our helmet on, so no one sees us. Exactly. As soon as they take the helmet off, now they want everybody to know who they are.
That's right. Yeah, he got an opportunity to do that, and he definitely took advantage of it. Like I said, he was, you can honestly say, despite the playing time, you mentioned it, great on defense. He was a really good defender at the times he was out there and in people's face and talking a little bit of junk too. But I think Coach Harper and the coaching staff like that. It's a different element to bring to the roster, indeed. So,
it's great because I knew the kid too. I mean, I coached Marcus Vasquez as a receiver, so I know what type of personality he has. He's the right person for that job.
There you go.
Talk a little trash, get out there and play hard. I mean, he's nonstop.
Yeah.
You got to calm down, Marcus. But you know what? That brought the kind of spark to the basketball team, though. So that's what they needed, and he provided that for them.
Yeah. So definitely, people are very excited about that opening contest against Wichita State, and we'll kind of transition toward something a little bit about football. Of course, it was mentioned last week that Western Kentucky will start a 3-game series with Vanderbilt starting in 2015. So pretty excited because the way that kind of works out is it works out kind of like a home and home. Like, Western would go down to Vanderbilt on 2015. They'll come up here and play us in 2016. So, it's great because you get a team like Vanderbilt, an SEC opponent. They're actually coming to Howard Smith Stadium and playing us here. So, I mean, it's going to be a great environment.
A wonderful environment. That is awesome for this program. Another SEC program, close rival. I mean, it could almost be a rivalry, so close.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good. And then if we get a chance to play them, and they've been going to bowl games recently, and so that's a good matchup for us. That'd be great for us.
Yeah, and the way that works out, let me get the dates right here just so everybody knows. They'll actually trade home games, like I said. They'll go to Nashville on September 12th, 2015, and then the Commodores actually come up here to Bowling Green on September 24th, 2016. And then actually the third game of the series is kind of like a money game. It's kind of like a guaranteed game. That's where we get paid a lot of money to go down there and play them. So that's always good, right?
I mean, it's always good for that. But, it's great that they would come here and play in the stadium. That's pretty rare, though, really.
Yeah, and it's something I kind of brought up, because we've been talking a lot about Kentucky, because Kentucky's the first game of the season this year, and we've been playing them the last 3 years as well, just as part of the contract. Kind of the element of us going down to LP Field in Nashville to kind of play a pseudo home game against Kentucky.
Yeah, exactly.
I always kind of express my feeling. I know how it works. You kind of sell more tickets, and Western Kentucky kind of generates more revenue from that. Having it down there at that event, you can sell more tickets and get more of the ticket money like that. But I always thought it would be a great environment to have a team like Kentucky or a team like Louisville, in-state teams, to kind of come here and play us at Howard Smith Stadium. I mean, we could fill up the stadium really easy, and I think the environment outside the stadium, in the tailgating areas as well, would be fantastic as well.
I think so. You hit it right on there. Just that we never gave it the opportunity or the chance. I think they would come here. That would be a great rivalry. I mean, we have big Blue Nation on campus. You have people wearing jerseys and then vice versa in WKU. That'd be great. To come here in our house.
Hopefully not a lot of fights or anything.
No, that'd be tough
think?
That'd be tough to deal with.
Might just have to set up a wrestling ring out in South Lawn.
Have a lot of security. You got to have a lot of security for that game. That's a big time rivalry. So I guess that's why they kept it down in Nashville.
Probably so.
They have more cops down there.
Yeah, exactly. Have more security.
More security. Yeah, exactly.
Have like Royal Rumbles in the South Lawn. So
that'd be interesting. We need that blue and that red. That'd be awesome.
I think it would be. We just thought of something there.
Exactly.
If that scenario ever plays out, or Kentucky and Louisville came down, you need to hook that up.
We'll do that. How much are you going to put in? I'll put in something.
$5?
$5? Okay, I'll put in 10.
You know anybody's got a wrestling ring?
I don't know. Not around here. We had it in Ditto Arena. We probably could just transfer it over,
There
can't
you
we?
go. Yeah, I think we can call them
Okay.
sports department.
Probably that
talk
can
about
happen.
that. Yeah. But yeah, it's great to we talk about Vanderbilt. I mean, they're a team that's on the rise as well. You talk about James Franklin. Had 8 wins 2 seasons ago, 9 wins last year. They've constantly going to bowl games. So, we talk about having an SEC opponent come here, but it's not only an SEC opponent, it's actually a very formidable SEC opponent in Vanderbilt, and just talking about James Franklin, what he's done down there, turning that program into a 9-win team is pretty remarkable.
He's done a great job around there. We did a couple of years ago. I did a camp down there, and he's a great coach. I got a chance to learn around there and kind of teach there. And he had a camp, and it's been awesome.
Yeah.
So they have a great program, but the good thing about it is they're close to us.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
that's kind of competition and national recognition, especially a bowl team. That'd be maybe a ranked team.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, just about 60 or so miles down the road. So, definitely form a good I-65 rivalry
Exactly.
between the two of us. So, I mean, that'd be good. And like I said, that'd be cranking up in 2015. So, and like I said, in 2016, they come up here and play us at Housham Smith. So, definitely a football team is, reaching out to different programs, doing good things. And I think it's kind of one of those, we're talking about breaking barriers and things like that with the volleyball team. This is definitely showing that, since WKU's made that transition to FBS, that they're kind of breaking down some barriers too, having teams like Vanderbilt come here and actually play us in our home stadium.
Exactly.
As well.
We're doing a great job. Our athletic department has been doing a great job of even marketing and publicizing, getting these teams in and working hard. I know Todd Stewart has been doing a great job, even last year with the bowl situation.
Yeah.
He didn't talk about it a lot, but he really worked his butt off to get that thing done.
Yeah.
Talking to PR, the publicity, and getting to the people constantly on the phone. I remember him on the phone all the time. He doesn't say anything. He's kind of modest, but he did a lot of work to get that done.
Yeah, and I think another thing that helped Western out last year, compared to 2 years ago, which, they already had 5 wins about midway through the season. So, that helped, Todd Stewart out, too, to start making phone calls to bowl committees and things like that and start marketing the program, and telling people that they're, Western Kentucky is definitely worthy of a bowl game. And, by the time the season came down, it just happened that the Little Caesars Bowl picked us, and you saw that happen in a team like Middle kind of do what we did 2 years ago, kind of finish the season strong whenever they started slow.
Exactly.
And they got left out of a bowl game, and not to pick on Middle Tennessee, which is one of our biggest rivals, but yeah, I mean, that scenario kind of played out with us 2 years ago where we finished strong, won 7 of our 8 last games, and then we kind of got locked out of a bowl game,
And that happens, but but look what happens though. Even now, with the master plan, everybody's excited. I walked on campus and students are afraid. I mean, that's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Our program is getting national ranked, and sometimes now I'm in faculty in sports management. It helps with students. It helps with recruiting. It helps with everything.
Yeah.
So that whole divide between the faculty and sports. If you have a sports program, you build faculty, you build everything. You build the charisma, you build enthusiasm on campus. People want to come here. And that's what it's really about. People want to be around winners, and that's what it's really about. And we're doing that. We have the framework to do it all, and we're doing a great job at doing that.
Definitely. And you talk about winners and everything like that. We're going to transition into kind of the near future, the UK game coming up. But talk about like you said, the master plan. People were excited about the program. One of those reasons, not only that we were a winning program, we got Bobby Petrino as a head coach. I mean, what are your impressions of that? The hire period, and just kind of the enthusiasm he brings to the.
Oh, what a great coach! We call has been in the coach. That's a ball coach.
Yeah.
He's a football coach, and it's amazing. When I played even in the NFL with the Chicago Bears, he was with the Atlanta Falcons, and I wanted the ball. If you're on his team, you'll get the football. Playing receiver.
Well, you're a wide receiver.
I played wide receiver. I wanted
the ball all the time,
right? I mean, I was trying to tell Coach Petrino, I still have a few years of eligibility left. If I got on his team, you'll get the ball. He throws the ball, and he has a wide open offense. He's demanding, and he wants perfection. And I'm really excited about this season with having him around. I mean, a lot of people don't understand it, but he's a ball coach.
Yeah.
Some people are just a genius in what they do, and that's what they focus on.
Yep.
I mean, for him being out of it, for that period of time probably drove him crazy because that's all he thinks about is football.
I think so as well. And you say, a year out of it. I don't really think he was really completely out of it. I think he was probably watching some film, putting some stuff together in case of a comeback. And, just so happens that, we've been talking about it a lot, even since he got hired, but it's still very weird and awkward to say Bobby Petrino's the head coach at Western Kentucky. Who would have thought that he would land at a place like this? So you talk about the excitement and everything. That just kind of adds to the excitement as well. Going off the Western Kentucky win last season at WKU or at UK. And then, you talk about moving forward this year. We got Petrino as head coach. You got Mark Stoops, who's pumping a lot of energy into the UK program. So it's all going to kind of collide and come together August 31st. We can kind of stop talking about it and actually.
Pumped up. You get me.
Am I pumping you up? Am I pumping you up? Easy now. Calm down. I'm going to throw that water on you, all right?
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's going to be an exciting game, though, especially with Coach Petrino and what he brings to the table. And I watched a couple of practice and the excitement, the organization, and how the guys are moving and running around. I mean, they're running around from every drill to drill. Everything is organized.
It's very fast-paced.
Fast-paced, and there's play. Guys make sure they respect him. He's definitely well respected. But you know what? Like we say, he's a football coach.
Yeah.
Some people have it, and some people don't. But he definitely has it.
And you can tell, he kind of mentioned today in the post-practice press conference, that, practice is closed for the week for the media and the public. He said, I like to kind of keep practice open the first 2 weeks to kind of let the fans come out, kind of get a feel of the team and just kind of enjoy being out there and watching the team. But he said once it gets close to the first game, I kind of like to shut everything down, kind of take away the distractions and kind of focus on the game plan and everything like that. And that's one of the things he's doing, starting to do this week, is kind of game plan for Kentucky a little bit, and then he said he's going to do it a whole lot more next week. So they're kind of starting to instill game plans for Kentucky. He knows what he wants. He's got it structured out and everything like that. Like I said, he's a football coach. So he knows what he's doing. He knows what he wants from his players, and I think a lot of the players definitely respect that, and I think they are relishing the opportunity to be coached by him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're running around. Even some of the players that I knew, they was like, I mean, he's unpredictable. He's like, man, but if you don't get your job done, he doesn't care who you are.
Yeah, he doesn't.
And that's what he's about. He wants to win. He wants to bring this program where it should be, and he's trying to do that. And I'm excited. But I think all the teams that he ever coached, he's been around. He's always been a proven winner.
He's got a proven track record.
And he motivates them. He gets these guys going. He's getting them playing. And what I like, again, as a receiver, talking about a receiver, he throws the ball.
Yeah.
He gets that ball up and down the field.
Keep mentioning that.
It's going to be like a track meet this year. You know what I mean? Before we used to be more ground and pound, West Coast offense, run the ball. Now, I mean, fans going to be excited what's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
Because he's going to, we're going to score points. Going to be up and down the field. You better have binoculars. It's going to be like a tennis match.
Yeah.
Tennis match back and forth. Yeah.
It's definitely, I don't think he's going to worry about time of possession. He's
not going to worry about that.
As long as he's scoring more points than the other team,
That's
right?
all that matters.
But, you were talking about, the energy and everything like that, and working out and stuff like that. I know you said you worked out with the softball team.
Yeah, I tried to, though. I mean, I just fell into
it.
We did some CrossFit, and they were out there, and I so happened, I was like intimidated. I was like, whoa, look at these young girls. I've been out here running and working out. But, it turned out to be pretty well. I just feel the atmosphere around here, the enthusiasm. They working hard, training hard. Our strength coaches, everybody around here just want to be successful, want to go to the next level. They're doing a great job. I mean, everybody's doing great over there, and I saw them running and excited, and we did that CrossFit. You ever tried that?
A smaller version of CrossFit. How about that?
Oh, man.
Probably not as intense.
Oh, man, I felt it. I did it the other day, and I feel like over the weekend, I'm like, oh, my neck, my back. It's just constant pace for 30 minutes. For 30 minutes, you feel like you've been working out for 2 days.
Yeah. And speaking of working out, I had Coach Madej, the strength and conditioning coach for the football team, was gracious enough to host me yesterday for a workout at WKU's facilities over here. And let me tell you something. For about a 5-minute period, I thought I was probably going to die toward the end of it. But I struggled through it and made it. But it was just, like I said, one thing about Coach Madej is these players that, play for Petrino, like I said, fast-paced practices. definitely fast-paced offense when they're playing the game, but they have to be in shape.
Yeah.
And Coach Madej does a good job of putting them in shape and getting them in shape and everything like that. We went about 45 minutes, but it was nonstop, one station to the next.
Wow.
Bench pressing, when we're done with bench pressing, we're pulling. He said, whenever you do a push exercise, I want you to do a pull exercise the next time. So we did it together and everything. And like I said, I extenuated a lot of energy. And for about a 5-second period there, I thought I might pass out a little bit. But I made it through. And I'll tell you what, I'm really sore today. And probably the hardest thing I've ever done today is probably put my belt on my jeans. I mean, it was really hard to do.
I mean, that's hard work. I remember even on the other side with the other side with the softball team with Coach Stefanski and Coach Dwayne Hall. I mean, you got coaches all around this program,
Yeah.
strength coaches that get after it.
Yeah.
And he was actually with the program, man. We ran up the hill, we ran down the hill, we did 50 box squats. I'm like, oh my
Wow.
goodness, on the ball. And I'm coming down. I was like, I don't know if I can make it down this hill.
Yeah.
But it's good work. It's about 30 minutes, but you feel like you've been working for 2 days.
Exactly.
You sweat all day.
Yeah, and that's the way we did yesterday. 45 minutes, we got in a lot of stuff. And like I said, whenever you're working out, any weight we did, he said, whenever you get to where you pretty much maxed out on your own, it's like, I'm going to help you do 3 more reps.
Okay.
So, I mean, you were going, beyond, your point of, max or whatever, and it was just intense. But it was really cool. And afterwards, he gave me a chance. He charts out. He's very meticulous. Got everything charted out, what players weigh and everything like that. And he's got a chart. I mean, it really shows the progress. And I do a lot of photojournalism and stuff too. And I think a picture kind of speaks 1,000 words. And he's got a folder that's got every player in it, and he's charted their weight whenever he got here and their weight currently. And he's got a picture when he first got here, and he's got a picture presently. And it was amazing to see, a picture of Andrew Jackson, how much weight he's cut. He's cut about 20 pounds.
Exactly.
And he's slim and trim. He's defined. And, like a player like Kadeem Jones as well. He's slim and trim,
Yeah,
defined.
I remember, Kadeem Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
a couple Big Macs away
yeah,
from
a couple Big Macs. He was a fullback,
Yeah,
right?
real fullback, yeah.
He's kind of a slimmer back
He's
right
slimmer.
now.
He's
yeah.
doing a great job
Yeah.
keeping them guys healthy and slim.
Yeah.
definitely.
So it was definitely really cool. I appreciate Coach Madej for having me out there and giving me a heck of a workout I'll probably never forget. So
Because I'm doing it too, but you work out, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
train
I mean-
though. You
I
work
mean,
out, right?
yeah,
I train. You work out.
I work out. Yeah.
I train.
Yeah. Take that. That would probably be correct.
No,
yeah.
I'm just playing.
That would probably be a correct way to state that. So, but yeah, I mean, it just it's kind of like a nice behind the scenes look of what actually goes into making a football player, to go through the rigors of practice and, especially a practice like Petrino's and, same in your deal with the softball team and everything like that. So it just goes to show you, you see the players out there practicing, but there's a lot more behind the scenes that goes into it, and that's where strength and conditioning coaches come in and, trainers and everything like that to get the players ready, get them in shape so they can actually, go through the rigors of a complete season and practice and everything like that. So it's very important for them to do that.
Exactly. You need to have a complete staff, and Coach Petrino has everybody, surrounded around him. But this athletic department does a great job, not only with the physical side, but even the mental side. The athletic department,
Yeah.
academics, advising, and all that. They're doing extremely well. So that's what's keeping the program alive and continue to keep them doing well.
Yeah. So we got about a minute left. I'm going to ask you a quick question. You played at Oregon back in the day. What do you think about those new unis right now?
Oh man, you know what? Those uniforms, I love those uniforms. The uniforms are pretty nice.
Yeah.
But when I played. It was just Oregon. It wasn't even. It was Donald Duck.
Exactly.
We had one uniform and that was it. Little mesh, jersey, and that was it. One pair of shoes, yellow pants. Now they have all this stuff. It's amazing.
Well, you kind of talk about that. I know that's a kind of an important recruiting aspect, but WKU unveiled some new uniforms. What do you think about those, real quick?
Yeah, it's real good. I mean, those uniforms make a difference. When you're doing recruiting, when you're recruiting high school students, it's everybody want gear. I want to be geared up. I want the different uniforms, and they go about bragging. This is what I want. But that's a huge recruiting tool.
All right, cool. We got about 15 seconds left, so I just want to take the time to once again thank you, Terry Obie.
Appreciate coming
you coming on and being a part of the show. Don't forget, next week, folks, we're going to have Coach Travis Hudson on to talk a lot of WKU volleyball, so stay tuned. See ya. Go Tops.
See ya.
This old house is a getting shaky. This old house is a getting old. This old house lets in the rain. this old house that's in the cold. Oh, my knees, I'm getting chilly, but I feel no fear of pain. Ain't got time to fix the shingles, ain't got time to fix the floor, ain't got time to oil the hinges, not